Hello and welcome to Old Man Sailing. This is John Passmore and here we are in the Virgin Islands. Behind me is Eustatia Island, over there Prickly Pear. Over there is Necker Island, that's Richard Branson's. I'll show you them afterwards. And I've just been diving on the reef here, which is fabulous. And of course the reef has largely died, it's a sort of beige colour, but it does have millions of fish. And astonishing colours in the fish. You know, yellow fish with red eyes and purple fish and green fish and you name it. Little blue ones with red, with yellow tails, and even a great big thing about a metre long, which didn't seem too interested in eating me, so I left him alone. Anyway, the reason for checking in with you is because there are now so many subscribers on this site that it would be a terrible shame if you didn't know about the new books. Now, the first book, Old Man Sailing, which is this one, and I don't know whether the writing is the right way around, it might not be. That was published in January of 2021 and it's sold in 16 months about 5,000 copies. What is most exciting is that now 60% of the sales are on the American site, Amazon.com, and they're growing daily. We're going up the rankings every week. So that is a huge success. And 75% of the reviews give it 5 stars. And a lot of people have said how much they enjoyed the little anecdotes, the love story of how Tamsin and I met in the Lonely Hearts column of Time Out, ran away to sea together, started having babies, the dog, all of that stuff. Now, what people didn't know, or they may not know, is that all of this was catalogued at the time. I had a column for Yachting World, that was the Dog Watch column. I had another one for the Daily Telegraph on home ground. I was writing for the Evening Standard, all sorts of things. Even the Women's Weekly in Australia took a piece. And I kept all of these. Now, when I was crossing the Atlantic this time, with the trade winds, nothing much to do, I read them. And I thought, you know, this is cracking stuff. And so I started typing them out. And I put them together into 2 books. And they're called The Good Stuff. The reason for that is, back to front again, is because the editor of Yachting World said it's good stuff. And the reason for that was that, you know, after a few years I said, look, you know, it's getting a bit silly. Do you really want this? And he said, yes, yeah, keep it up. And there was so much of it, what with one thing and another and the different publications, that there are 2 volumes. That's book 2, and if you look very closely, the photograph is slightly different. This was taken a few minutes, well, a couple of minutes later, when the sun had set. So you can buy them all on Amazon. Of course, if you haven't read the first one, do start with that. So that's where we are at the moment. I shall stay here for another 10 days or so, because it is now the 3rd of June, I think. And bang on the 1st of June, the first hurricane arrived, but that was in Mexico. We tend not to get them here until later in the year. In fact, they talk about the season lasting, sailing season here lasting until mid-July instead of till the 1st of August. But I'm not going to chance it that far. I shall be off in mid-June. And back to England, back to Falmouth, which is, I reckon, about 45 days. But in the meantime, the sun shines, the water is crystal clear, and tonight I'm going to meet my new friend, because when I anchored just about 200 yards away over there, a fella came out from Eustatia Island to make sure that my anchor wasn't interfering with their water maker, which is on the seabed, and it was okay. We got chatting, and I'm going to go over to the rock at 5 o'clock to watch them feed the fish and the turtles. And he's going to come over there and we're going to have a beer together. So life is good in the sun. And I look forward to talking to you again. Oh, before I go, yeah, I said I'd show you Necker Island, didn't I, and all those things. Let me just turn the camera. And that's right. What have we got here? That's Prickly Pear Island. And that's, you might be able to just see a bit of breaking water there. It's a reef. Over there is Necker. And if I can make this larger, I don't know if I can, there we go. He's quite developed this. It's got 3 wind turbines and lots of houses. Earlier on I saw that there was a sort of landing craft, obviously delivering supplies. There's some more breaking water on the reef. And this is Eustatia Island. This was bought in, I think, 2000 or something by an American. It's now owned by a corporation, and we don't know who's behind that, of course, that being the nature of corporations registered in the British Virgin Islands. That is a little pass between the islands, and just round there to the right is Sabre Rock. So I shall row over there. It's 2 cables distance, so not too far. Nobody can understand why I row everywhere. The reason is because when you're an old man, your arms turn to little sticks because all your muscles atrophy. And I find that if I row everywhere, I still have muscles, I still have shoulders, and I'm afraid I'm vain enough to want to keep it that way as long as I can. So, there you go. Thanks very much for joining me, and I look forward to the next time.